Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Power of Knowing Forums, the Regenesis Talks, a LinkedIn live event, episode 206. Today, we are discussing on the topic of crisis resilience, get it fixed in 2025, chapter 64 of the Regenesis Talks. We have the honor of having Mr. Thomas Wells, Mr. Rajiv Bajaj, and Sunil Kumar joining us today. Without further ado, let's welcome our esteemed speaker to the podcast event. Hi Sunil, hi Rajiv, hi Thomas. Welcome to the podcast. Over to you,
Thank you.
Thomas.
Thank you, Prem.
Thank you, Prem.
Thank you, Prem. So, welcome everybody. We've got yet another important session today. Why crisis resilience matters now. I think the more we wake up to this kind of seeming new era, we realize that organizations, in fact, everybody, is facing more unpredictability than ever. Whether that's overall going to take us forwards or hold us back or take us to a different place or change something, difficult to assess at this moment. Whether it's financial instability or whether it's inter-country instability with wars and maybe it's climate instability, maybe it's political instability. That all, I think, instability is one of those words. It's that change is taking place. Change is a constant in our world. And the ability to withstand and thrive through these changes, if we're to avoid them becoming crises, is no longer optional. We have to find a way to proactively manage our situation, whatever is happening in the outside or the inside. I guess things to avoid are the most common pitfalls in crisis management. Crisis tends to make us anxious. We tend to draw ourselves in. It's the same for organizations. They tend to react to crises with cost cutting and short term fixes that ultimately weaken them and weaken the economy and, in fact, weaken us all and weaken our lives. So, really, what managers, executives, directors, owners, founders, leaders of every kind need to think about at this time is how they can take a more elegant, more wise approach. And that's where the regenesis approach perhaps comes to the fore. What we advocate here is instead of merely surviving, regenesis offers a generative and regenerative model that transforms crises into opportunities for expansion and long term resilience. So, that's what to expect today. We'll be exploring the practical strategies that ensure your organization remains strong, remains adaptable, and remains future oriented and future proof. And that's where the regenesis, flexibility, and resilience really comes to the fore. So, to open our conversation today, I'm going to ask Prem to kind of open up with something around the Regenesis program and why that matters at this time, and how to adopt a 12-step generative and regenerative approach. So, Prem, over to you. Can you take us through that, please?
Thank you,
Your
Thomas. Let me take you on to this one. Give me a second. Yeah. So, so, Regenesis program about the program is about adopting a 12-step generative and regenerative approach, right? So, how do we look at this? So, we start with the pointers where we need to look at each. We have divided this program into four pointers that I wanted to talk about the Regenesis growth program today. Clarity of clarity, your organization core purpose, right? Define your mission with precision and ensure every action that you take is aligning with it. Move beyond the survival mode and focus on long term creation. So, the point that we are trying to look at here is what are the core purposes the organization should look at. with clarity. And the first is the mission that you have to look at, and the precision that it ensure the actions are aligned with it. Move beyond survival mode and focus on long term value. I'm repeating this because these are very important pointers where organizations have to look at seeing beyond the organization and focus on the long term value that we can create for the organizations to ensure this all stakeholders understand and contribute to the shared purpose that we want to bring in. That's the clarity we should bring in every person in the organization, and see how we can adopt that as a collective organization, right, in the group. So coming to the second point that I want to talk about is maximize the strategic flow. So you when you look at strategy, there will be a lot of friction that happens, and we have to remove those kind of friction in decision making and in execution. While we take decisions, there will be a lot of frictions that happen, and we'll have to come at an understanding point and bring that pointers to a solution where it can be executable, and that execution also is to be looked at a frictionless execution. Align people and resources to maximize synergies and the impact. We'll have to see what synergies we can bring, how we can synergize together and bring out maximum impact to the process of the strategy that we want to look at, and establish looking at feedback loops and reinforce successful patterns. Everything that we execute should be having a feedback mechanism is what we are trying to look at, and that is going to give us a pattern where we see there are some of the pitfalls that can happen, with which these feedbacks will help us grow and manage things better on a strategic flow. Coming to the third point, energize value creation across the organization. What we are looking at here, identifying the impact areas where incremental improvement yield exponential results. What does that mean? We'll have to go step by step, look at creating a value and see how that incrementally improves and exponentially the results flow in. Develop a system that allows for adoption and resilience. So the system should be brought up in such a way that they are dynamically changeable, they are continuously improvable, and they don't have a roadblock. That's what we should look at bringing up a value creation across the organization. Encourage teams to innovate within the structured framework, because once you decide on a framework, it most of the time we see that that framework is not in a position to be a dynamic framework. It is going to be a very rigid framework. That's where many of the frameworks get struck. So what we look at is have a dynamic system within the structured framework and keep innovating within it. So the fourth point that we want to look at is embed regeneration as a core principle, right? So the pointer that we are trying to look at shifting from extractive practices to a value amplifying processes. Now, any process that you see, what is that it is giving to the customer is more important than what is that we are delivering as an organization. So if you look at that point, we need to create a value that is going to be a pointer which the customers can look at. Integrate learning and adoption and continuous evaluation into everyday operations. Everyday operations will come up with a lot of challenges. We need to document them, look at where we had an issue, fix that, integrate that learning as a knowledge base, adoption of that lessons to the implementation, and continuously evaluating the process and evolving over the everyday operations is what we are talking about. The last pointer that I have under this section is to build cultures and expand opportunities rather than depleting resources. So we are trying to see it should work across cultures. We should expand the opportunities where others can also look at, and resources also are having that kind of impact. This is what I had in mind on talking on these pointers. Over to you, Sunil, for the next steps.
Thank you, Prem. As we are discussing very important topic regarding the crisis, so we all know that the challenges always brings opportunity. So as a positive person, first thing, important thing is that we should see that if crisis has come, there are a lot of hidden opportunity within these crises that exist. So how regenesis can help in this? you know all those opportunities available during those crises that need to be seen, and you need to have that eye to see those opportunity and explore those opportunity. Here regenesis makes a difference. We will support you, we will guide you that what are the opportunities available with you during those crisis period. And believe me, implementation of those things bring better result, even in good period, better than good period results. So I will talk four important points here. The first important is recognize the invisible voids, the hidden opportunities. We must have seen that you are having customers, you are selling something to them, you are having good relation with them. But have you identified the opportunities available with those clients? I mean, 100% opportunities available with those clients. So mapping those client 360-degree is very, very important. The moment you will do it, that available opportunity can be turned in a good business. So that first important point is that you have to recognize those opportunity. You have to ensure that you map those opportunity. So mapping those 360-degree opportunities with the existing client is important. The absence of losses is not the same as the presence of growth. So please mind it. So whatever available opportunities are there, you have to map, you have to explore, and you have to ensure that you get it. The second important is that unlock the value beyond immediate transaction. So if you have got one order and you have supplied the system and you are very happy that yes, this is the opportunity I have got. The first approach is this. But the second approach is we will help you to build on those opportunity. This is not one transaction. This is an opportunity to go within the system, understand the company in toto, how many plants they have, what are the system concerns they have, what exactly they do, and how you can link your offering with their requirement. You can give solution to them. So that is the way you can leverage those opportunities. So unlock value beyond immediate transaction. Create layered revenue model that increases resilience and acceptability. When you are creating those layers, when you are supplying one thing and after that you understand that okay, we can give this solution also. We can offer this also to them, and you are having good relation with them. So exploring that opportunity becomes easier. Getting those opportunity, it becomes easier. But the only thing is that you have to think regarding it. You have to train your people to do it. This is not easy because you have to develop that mindset of your people. And here regenesis makes a difference. The third important is leverage the timing, positioning, and momentum. Time is very, very important factor in each and every activity. So when you are doing something, you must ensure that you have entered in the market at right time. You have taken the decision, you have developed the product, you have innovated the offering in right way. So that is very, very important. So that timing is important. The positioning is important. How you position yourself among your customer, how you differentiate your offering with the competitors offering. Those small steps gives you a differentiator at marketplace, and you get the opportunity. And most important, I will say, if the things are going in right direction, if your energy of your team should always be maintained, so the momentum should be maintained. Whatever actions we have discussed in last 2 3 minutes, those steps should not be taken in isolation or once in a time. This should be a practice, and that should be inbuilt in the system. That should be within the mind, within each and every individual of your organization. They start looking the system in that way. But how that will happen? That will happen only if They will get trained to do that. They will get trained to have that eye. The fourth important is ensure every action expands possibilities. So every action, whatever you have taken, that needs expansion. And when you expand those action, that brings the possibilities of getting lot of revenue, getting new businesses, new opportunities. So avoid the narrow thinking, don't limit your flexibility, and encourage and experiment the mindset that safely test and refines new approaches. And that is the cultural shift within the organization. And during the crisis period also, this will be basically a great booster for the organization. Over to you, Rajiv.
Thank you, Sunil, for that very insightful explanation of the ways to control the situation. But let's talk about quest to grow income over expenditure and avoid the reverse. So I have been a finance person myself. I was a CFO with leading multinational company in India. So I think most of the mistakes which are done by people is they don't understand the true cost of shrinking expenditure under income. So sometimes we are too busy in cutting cost without the understanding the context of or the value of that cost which is we are incurring and what value we are going to get in future. So if we do cut costs without context, it often destroys the value creating capacity of the organization. You may save some money today, but you may kill your future for a lot of times to come. So a narrow focus on cost containment leads to a downward spiral of missed opportunities. So this is a very very important aspect which all of us should focus on, which all of us should understand, that sometimes just to cut the cost is not a solution. To understand and to optimize the cost and to always try and move according to your plan, according to your business plan, according to your budgets, and monitor the cost. I think that is most important. Whatever discussion you have to do on cost elements, that you need to do at the time of making your business plan. But after that, you must not be too much worried. Try to achieve that plan, and if you're not achieving your plan, then of course you need to go deep into it. So view your expenditure as an investment in future income. That is the crux of any financial person's decision making. So when you are actually incurring expenditure, you are investing in the future income. So we must use our resources which are deployed. We should create a return in capability, market presence, or innovation. Because if we don't spend money on innovation, if we don't spend money on creating market presence, if we don't spend money on creating capacity for our people and capability for our people in trainings, in encouraging them to do more or better, we will not be able to get the returns. So it's like you have to sow the seeds to see the trees grow. So if you are not doing that and you are saying, oh, I'm saving money on the seeds, so you are bound to have pressure on your top line, and you are bound to face challenges. So recognize the hidden value in assets, relationships, and intellectual property. Many a times we lose our sight on that. So we must always keep a sight on hidden value or in assets, relationship, and our intellectual property and in intellectual capital which we are creating. The third point which I wanted to share was to continuously expand income generating capacity. Because if we are developing multiple streams of income that reinforce and support each other, we are actually having a continuous cash flow in the organization. So we must develop that income generating capacity and leverage technology, networks, and innovation to create scalable value. Because at the end of the day, it is all about value creation, it is all about the valuation of your organization. And fourth point, which I wanted to share, was to make growth a self-reinforcing cycle. So when income outpaces the expenditure through smart investment, new opportunities automatically emerge. So focus on that part where you need to create that cycle where growth actually happens automatically. So Regenesis principles ensure expansion happens with stability, vision, and lasting impact. And let me tell you, I have been practicing Regenesis methodology for a long time now, almost more than a year. I can tell you that the kind of power you will get by understanding these hidden gems which we share with you every week, you will realize for yourself that these small changes which you will bring into your company culture or your self leadership will bring lots of value to your organization or value to yourself. So why today's insight matter? We are uh, we have explored how to fortify organizations against crisis using a generative and regenerative approach. But understanding is not enough. Take action is what counts. So please take action and start understanding what Regenesis has to offer you. So how Regenesis helps, let me tell you, our structured program ensures that the organization just don't react to the crisis, but build a system that turn challenges into avenues for long-term growth and resilience. So as when you are planning a firefighting strategy, first principle is make sure that the fire doesn't happen. And if it happens, then one, what is the reaction, how we are going to control that. Regenesis teaches us that we should not always be in a firefighting mode. We actually should ensure that there is minimization of crisis in the organization. So that is where the next step, join the Regenesis growth program, which we are sharing with all of you through our workshops, through our these events. And you will I tell you, you will get the value which you would not have imagined. So where we provide hands-on guidance, tools, and proven methodologies to implement these strategies effectively to you. And also let us share with you, there's a limited opportunity to accelerate results in 2025. We are offering an exclusive invitation to a Regenesis briefing and workshop, and secure your spot today and get in touch with any of us. And I think we'll be very happy to support you in your journey upward and onward. So all the best to you, and I'll encourage all of you to join the Genesis program and sign up without further delay. Over to you, Thomas.
Thank you very much, Rajiv. And I think the points you just made are very, very important. Now is the time. We, all of us four, are the founders team. So we're able to put out Regenesis at the moment in this first phase of distribution, and we're going to give it to everybody. In this first phase, though, because it's us, you can get it for effectively the royalty value or just at cost, at the lowest cost it can possibly be. In later phases, we know that other people will be involved in delivery, so it's bound to go up in cost significantly. So, without messing around, the time to act is right now. Crisis resilience is not just about surviving, and we are going into a period of high change. It's about making your organization stronger, more adaptable, and more expansive so that it's continuously growing. For sure, the time to act is now. So contact one of us and just get into one of these workshops. We won't be able to hold it on forever, and distribution will move on. So anyway, that's enough from me. Sunil, your final comments?
Yeah, thank you, Thomas. Basically, we all know that the businesses always see the challenges as well as growth. And this is a cycle. This will definitely happen. But what is the difference? So the difference is that how you approach those. So this is the only difference between a struggling organization and thriving organization. That how you approach this growth and crisis situation. And the regenesis equips you with the approach that ensures long-term success. So as Rajiv and Thomas has already explained, we are here to support you, handhold you. This is an actionable program, I always say. If you are ready to take action, if you are ready to you have set the growth target and ready to take action, then we are the right people. And why it is so? Because we are not offering you something which is not proven. This is proven, demonstrated, having 100 plus years of experience, all three of us. So that will add value. And believe me, this tool is a very, very important tool. And this has all across the globe, people have taken the advantage of that. So this is the right time. Get associated with us and take this opportunity. Over to you, Prem.
Thanks, Sunil. I think we'll shift the screen. There's some issue. Yeah. With this, we what we have, our team has informed what is that we are looking at and how the program can help us. This is a very important program that we are running around, where we look at how we can scale up the organization uh, from what level today it is and to the next level. And with this kind of a program, we have been running it successfully over the period, and Thomas has been in the industry running this program for a very long time, right? So we would like to say, please join us. We are running this program, Thomas. We are running this program in this month, right? So we can announce that now, Thomas, or we'll have a separate announcement done here.
Well, as previous people who've listened to us previously have noted, we've come to India deliberately because it is the place we believe can influence the outcomes for the world. It is growing well. It is making phenomenal internal adjustments for the benefit of their society, for the benefit of your population. Fantastic work is going on. And that could do with being replicated elsewhere. But it can only be replicated if more Indian organizations, whether they be public service organizations or businesses and organizations that are there for more for profit, but even the not for profits, we need you to grow and expand your impact and influence beyond the borders. It's there to be done. And of course, there's still masses of work to be done in India. So the Regenesis we brought to help you. And we're doing the first phase of mass distribution now. It used to be a massively expensive program because we're all in different places in our lives right now, and we have set our minds and our hearts on leading this mission to give Regenesis to every manager and every organization. That's why we're doing this. We're the founders team. We're here to almost give it away, but not quite. It's only the royalty fee that you pay. It's only the costs, the base costs of the program. Uh, Later, as we know, it'll be more expensive. So do get involved now. Now is the time. And whether you're a startup, an MSME, or whether you're a public service organization, do contact us. This is a very clear and structured approach that you will see. Come and look and see what it is before you dive in. It's a massively important program. So come along, contact any of us, and just sign up. The next weekend is 21st, 22nd, 23rd of March. There's 2 hours a day, 5 till 7 p.m. So come along and view what we're doing. And if you feel it's for you and your organization, either dive in straight away because you know you're ready now just from reading the material that we provide, or if you want, come and see and then follow through with the year of implementation support. Either way works for us, and we know it'll work for you too and your organization.
Thank you
So
for
that's
that,
probably
Thomas.
great. Thanks,
Yeah.
Prem.
Thank you for that, Thomas. So the dates have been mentioned, and we are going to run this program, and that's a 2 hour program, as Thomas mentioned. Please do look at the podcast that we've been doing. We have done 64 episodes on this framework so far, and this is the 64th episode that we are running, and this episodes go on a weekly basis where we talk about regenesis and the process that has to be looked at. Please do follow us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We have streamed this live to these platforms, and today we have streamed it even to Instagram. We hope found this discussion very valuable, and thank you for joining us today on LinkedIn Live. Our next podcast would be on the topic of uh, startup right or bust. What will you choose on the 12th of February at 6:30 p.m. That's the next Regenesis talks that we are going to have. And our next episode, which is following for this week, is the 207th episode, the high performance teams. How can communication create a 10x results tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Looking forward to see you there, and good day. Bye for now. Thomas, any final comments, Rajiv, Thomas, before we conclude?
Thank you very
All good.
much.
Come on down is what I would say. It's
Yeah,
time you make contact with us.
sure. Thank you. Good day and bye for now.
Bye for now.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everybody.
Thank you.